And a very, very good evening to you guys. Thank you very much for joining The Bear on a Friday night. It's Friday Night Live, and we're going to start the show off right away, and we'll tell you what's coming up in just a couple of seconds. But we'll start things off with this fabulous F-18 from the Canadian Air Force. Hit it one more time. Go. And again. So a very, very good evening to everybody. Thank you for joining us. And coming up on tonight's show, what have we got for you? Well, as you can see, Canadian F-18. Then we've got Concorde when it went to Manchester for the last time. Then we'll stay at Manchester for some, it's an A380. Then we've got a Viggen. After that, MiG-29 OVT. We've got Vulcan at Doncaster. Then well, it's something different. It's some aircraft and some wildlife over at Donna Nook. Then we go to Japan. Then we've got Meet the Fans. We've got a Mosquito, Lake and Heath preview. It's all coming up. So, hey, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. That's a great lineup of aircraft coming for you tonight, but also talking of a great lineup, just look at the lineup in the chat room today. Goodness gracious. Who have we got? We've got Peter Colebrook, we've got John Robinson, photo for you. We've got Barry West, Mark Webbo, Aviation Kid, LT Viper, Chris. We've got Richard, 1530, Mason Jason Aviation, James Fennelly. We've got a wash. We've been trying to get hold of you with no success. Coming up later, we should be having a wash on Meet the Fans. That's coming up later. We've got Ethan Musgrove also in the chat room. GB Model Zone. Of course, we've got Julie. Thanks, Julie. Let's see who's first in the chat room, shall we? Well, according to my list, first in the chat room tonight was Oliver, aka Kate. We know who it is. So our Oliver is certainly building up his army. There's no doubt about it over on Discord, so keep it up, my friend. Oliver normally watches this on Facebook, but tonight this is just going out exclusively on YouTube, so you're in the right place, guys. Lee Davis, good day to you. Jazzy John. So please keep putting the messages in the chat room. I'll definitely give you a mention. Meanwhile, let's get back to this aircraft so you can see and hear.
through until just before 4:45, the Commando Helicopter Force roll demo.
Now that's what you call a fabulous display, and what a gorgeous aircraft as well. Moving the show swiftly along. Oh yes, we had to feature it sometime, didn't we? The wonderful Concorde. This was the October 2003. It was the last time it came into... Well, actually, it was the last time it came in and did the takeoff over at Manchester Airport. And a message for Awash. Hey Awash, you are definitely not on my system at the moment, okay? On the Skype. I've had a look. You're definitely not live on Skype, okay? Right, trying him now. Just let me turn that down.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, there's my good friend Awash, who we'll be speaking to just a little bit later, okay? So, we will call you back just a little bit later there, Greg, okay? So stay on the line.
Good, Stu.
Yep, stay on the line and we'll call you in just a little later. What a fabulous sight. There we go. We'll have two from Concorde today. This time, this was at the Royal International Air Tattoo. As you can see, it's quite an old bit of footage. But hey, that don't matter.
Thanks so much.
And also in the chat room, we've got our very good friend, that's Kirk. Hiya, Kirk. Wonderful to see you, my man. Bandit 99, Mid-Atlantic RR and airplanes. And coming up next for you,
Crossing altitude.
we'll be
1500.
We'll be looking down the runway at Manchester, having a look at an A380. That's coming up in just a second for you.
4 knots.
Here we go.
23 right, clear to land, Emirates 17.
Emirates 17. Traffic information, you'll see helicopter traffic southbound passing through the climb out about 3 miles out. West of the airfield this time, not above altitude, 1,500 feet.
What do you like, aviation kid? What are you like? I told you there was some wildlife coming up today. We can hear the birds. You're going to see more than birds just a little bit later. That's just a clue. So we've made contact with our good friend Awash, that's Greg. So at around about 10 to 8, hopefully, if everything works as it should, we should be able to have a quick chat with him just a little bit later, because Awash is the star tonight of Meet the Fans.
121850,
So that's coming up for you at 10 to 8. Well, thank you very much there, Kirk. He is certainly enjoying these DVDs that we're putting together. So, hey, you might even get that one tomorrow.
Take off wind 180 degrees, 2 knots.
Kirk has just purchased that DVD that we showed on, was it Wednesday? Something like that, wasn't it? Yes, the Waddington ACMI. So, certainly hope you enjoy that. I think you will. Hey, I know we will. So, cheers, Kirk. Keep spreading the word. Barry West, what a top man. There you go. He's just put a fantastic donation into the chat room. He says, Stu, have some bounty balls on me. Cheers. I certainly will do. Thank you very much. Could get quite a few bounties for that. Hey, I'll be getting fat, I tell you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, coming up now, it's Waddington, and
landing up 2-1.
this is a fabulous display. It really is. You'll enjoy this. It's the wonderful Saab Viggen.
Clear display. Thank you very much. Clear for takeoff. Delta 60.
So Barry, thank you very much.
Base cleared on the lock. 60 clear to land. Wind 290, 10 knots. It's London for 60.
And coming up in just a moment, the next item that you're going to see. Now, this is a very special aircraft. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may not. MiG-29, but a MiG-29 with a bit of a difference. You will see. Here we go. Watch this carefully. So, all looks normal at the moment. Watch this. So it's that very special MiG-29 OVT with what they call deflected thrust vectoring. And that's a mouthful in itself. Jane Chapman says, hey, good evening, lovely people. Hi, Stu. Well, good evening to a lovely lady. That's our very own Jane Chapman. Good to see you, Jane. I've really got to tell you, the first time I saw this, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought, what the heck? How is it doing that? As far as I know, it's only appeared once in the UK, but I was hoping we were going to see it many, many more times, but I only ever saw it once back in 2006 at the Royal International Air Tattoo, and wow, what a real treat it was. How many is going to do? 2. Now I know a MiG-29 puts on a fantastic display, as usual, but I was definitely not expecting this when it turned up. I thought, what the heck? And it's all down to these, at the rear, you'll see these special nozzles. And if you zoomed right in, you would see they're moving, thrust vectoring it's called. And also putting in an amazing donation tonight. Thank you very, very much. It's all going for the computer, okay? So Mark Webster, you're a superstar just like everybody else. Thank you very, very much. Put a very kind donation in. I can't believe it. Thank you very much. It's certainly getting there, and we'll get that, well, the way we're going, we should get it fairly soon. So thank you. Keep it up. Cheers. Thank you. If you want to make a donation, it's dead easy. Is a little dollar icon in the chat room right now. Woo. Now, definitely deserving a round of applause, the crowd. Certainly loving that. And I think it scooped all the awards that particular year. And quite rightly so.
If you can, hold on to your chute.
Okay, coming up next, what do we have for you? Well, we've seen Concorde. We've seen an amazing MiG-29.
Hold on to your chute until you're well onto the taxiway.
How can we better that? Oh, I know. We'll bring on the Vulcan. So, thank you to James for this, sending it across the other day. So, James, I think it was 2015. He was over at Doncaster. There's some funny bits in this. So is that on a roundabout? Look at that. Anyway, let's get to the aircraft itself. So as always on a Friday night, it's a quick mixture of lots of different aircraft. And this is really funny, I think. Look at the crowd. They're sort of clinging to that fence. Some of them saying, let me in. Look at these. Look.
Why really, if you stroke them, they don't spike?
It's almost as if they're saying, let me in. But coming up, they're all waiting for this wonderful aircraft. So I'm going to go quiet, let you enjoy the Vulcan. Thank you very much, Jane Chapman, for putting that in, telling us about her late father, who was friends with Brian Trubshaw, the test pilot for Concorde. There's one thing I really love is head-on shots of aircraft, and Odd James is an expert at it. So this is a beautiful shot. And a very good evening. I haven't mentioned him yet. That's Kevin Henry VIII. I think Sleepy Spider. Yes, he should be waking up by now. Also, good to see our very own Alison Tidy. Good to see you there, Alison. So thank you, as always, for the great donations. Much, much appreciated. Thank you. And also, there's another great way that you can help Airshow World as well. You know, on a Monday afternoon, we do this feature where we play you those DVDs, and Kirk is loving them. If you'd like to purchase one of the DVDs, all profits going obviously to the Airshow World Computer Fund and what have you. So if you'd like to do that, drop me an email. Email address is airshowworld1@gmail.com. Pat Murphy, this was taken at Doncaster by our very own Jimbo James. I think it was 2015. And coming up for you next, we've got something slightly different, okay? So it's, there's some aircraft, of course, but there's some wildlife, and there's some cute ones, but my goodness me, there's some nasty ones as well. You'll see what we're talking about in just a moment. The clue is Donna Nook. We went there 1 December, okay? So with the, here we go. This was when I was called TWS Aviation Videos. Two. So there we are. What is Donna Nook? It's a bombing range, and it's off the Lincolnshire coast. Now, we've got lots of videos that we could show you from Donna Nook, but just today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Would show you some of the wildlife down there, and literally you're right next to them. And in November, December and early January, look at that. The seals, who are out in the sea for most of the, just off, literally where the bombing range is. But in November, December and January, they come in to have the pups. Now, the pups may look cute, but you will see in a minute. They look pretty docile, don't they, the big ones? You will see. Keep watching. Now, coming up pretty soon on one of the features, we're going to feature Donna Nook again, probably next week or the week after, where we had A-10s doing the firing at Donna Nook. But the aircraft you keep seeing flying through in the bombing range, I was so lucky that particular day. It was actually the Belgium Air Force's beautifully painted up F-16, the bright orange one. Actually, the sorry, I do apologise. The Netherlands, wasn't it? The Dutch. Bedof. Now you think they're really terrible at moving, but I can assure you they can move a lot faster than what we can. So there's like a fence all the way along to obviously keep you well away, because the teeth on these things, you will see them in a moment. They watch that one start to slip and slide. And quite a few times I've been to Donna Nook, and say in the summertime and what have you, and if the wind is right, if you're there in the summertime, you won't see them because they're all out, not far out at all at sea, and you can hear them making those sounds like they're making now. There we go. Sorry if you're still having your tea. So that's what they do every year from round about the best time to go is probably early December, but obviously for obvious reasons this year they were going to try to put this on this year, but obviously it's not on this year, but hopefully next year. It's certainly worth going along to. I don't know if Julie's been there. Looks like, could you imagine if this happened at Blackpool? Oh, Lord above. But you watch in a minute. The teeth on these things. There we go. Very loving with its newborn pup, but won't be tired. Anybody that comes near, you will see. And there it is. You can see the actual bombing range in the distance. Here we go. Here comes another. And of course, you'll see blood all over them, chunks missing out of them. They are quite aggressive. They may look a bit docile, but yeah, I don't advise going swimming for two reasons off Donna Nook. Number one, you'll probably find an old bombshell. Either that, or you'll have a Chinook coming after you. But just for something different today, I thought, hey, yeah, we'll show you what Donna Nook is all about. It's not just about the bombing range. And, hey, maybe next week I'll show you a little bit more action from night time, and also some great shots in the daytime with some real good close-ups of the aircraft. Coming up for you next, we're going to be going back to Japan. You remember yesterday we did that feature which was called Big in Japan. That's what we called it on the live from the Edit Room show. That's coming up in just a moment. And this time we're going to look at some F-15Js at Komatsu. In fact, we're there right now. So keeping the show running along. Don't forget, coming up in around about 15 to 20 minutes, we'll be doing Meet the Fans. Tonight, we've got a Wash 2004.
Ground Apex 85.
Apex 85, close ground. Go ahead.
Apex 85 to Fukuoka, flight to level 320, spot 8.
Apex 85, clearance, clear to Fukuoka Airport.
So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of extra feature just for a change.
Expect flight about 320, Fukuoka 3373. Departure frequency 120, decimal 1, way back.
Apex 85, clear to Fukuoka Airport, Saab to departure, flight en route. Maintain flight 160, expect flight level 320, scope.
Yep, it certainly is. It's in Lincolnshire.
Apex 85, way back is correct.
In fact, not far from Jimbo James, and James goes over there quite often. So we can bring you some great video footage. May do it next week.
Report using helipad.
Yep, we've got a Wash is standing by, and we'll be calling a Wash in around about 20 minutes from now.
Go ahead.
Barry West, thank you very much for the bounty bars. We'll catch you on the next one, okay? So you take care, Barry. See you later.
Expect only active for departure.
What does Kirk say? Kirk, he thought it was Lake and East. No. Tonight's the 60-minute show, okay? The Lake and Heath Airshow from '92. That's coming up on Tuesday afternoon, okay? Tuesday afternoon for the Lake and Heath 1992 Airshow. And that's going to be on from 1 p.m. there, Kirk. So if you're about, I think you might enjoy it. But I tell you what we will do for you, though. All right? Kirk, especially for you, I'll do a preview for Tuesdays, okay? So a little snippet of Lake and Heath coming up. Well, knock me down with a feather, boys. It's Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Great to see you. She says, hey, Stu. And that's our Sarah from over there in the USA. So always good to see you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us on the 60-minute show with the bear. Sorry, Ethan, I haven't got round to answering your question. What does he want to know? He was asking about an airport. I think you were asking about Newcastle. Was it Newcastle Airport or something? But no, I've never been there.
Standby departure clearance for IFR separation.
Well, it's great to see you there, Sarah. Thank you. I always remember Sarah joining us quite a lot last summertime when we were over at Mildenhall and at Lakenheath.
フォーマー IP に向かいます。
Right.
ポートウェスト IP ロギ64。
Oh, Watch says, Stu, believe it or not, my instructor was based at Lakenheath.
ランウェイ06クレアホテコマスター11
Yes. The Japanese certainly know how to paint up their aircraft, and if you were with us yesterday, you'd have seen those beautiful F2s. You know what? I don't think I've mentioned our good friend Phil Artiste yet. So Phil, great to see you in the chat room there, and we'll be featuring Phil in a few weeks on Meet the Fans as well. So Phil, always great to see you in the chat room, and apologies if I've not mentioned you yet. John Robinson says F15 DJ a Stu model. Yes, absolutely. Remember James telling us that yesterday. The J always comes after the aircraft, and of course, what does it mean? It means where we are, in Japan. Oh, we had some fun yesterday, I tell you. If you didn't see it, you want to watch it back. We had some great fun. We had our fantastic James, and he was telling us all about Japan, because that's who filmed this, our very own James, and it was absolutely great. And hopefully we'll get James on again one day. We loved it. Great messages in the chat room. Thank you. Keep them coming in. Gary Inge says, hi, Stu. He says, how you doing tonight? And he really enjoyed seeing the seals over at Donna Nook. Well, it's certainly a sight you want to go and see. Wrap up nice and warm. Unfortunately, you can't do it this year, but certainly go next year. It's quite something. And if you're lucky enough, you may be like me, see a few aircraft as well. What a bonus. And for any animal lovers, don't worry about the seals or whatever. the RAF have been in that bombing range for years and years, and it's the SEALs who choose to come there. It's so bizarre. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. An RAF bombing range just there, and the SEALs go, yeah, okay, we'll live here. I think they enjoy it. They love it. You see, I've put this extra bit on for you tonight, especially for LT Viper Pilot, because she missed the live show yesterday. Understandable, because she's over there in Seattle, so that's quite understandable. We started at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. She tried to stay awake, but hey, don't you worry about it. So I thought I'd put this extra little feature in for you as well. So thank you also, James.
Unifor 1231, request taxi.
Unifor 1231, taxi to holding point runway 06.
Coming up for you in around about 8 minutes from now, something like that, we'll be calling in on Awash 2004, because he will be on tonight's Meet the Fans. So that's coming up in about 8 or 10 minutes from now.
Master 67, enter down window.
Master 67, report the base.
Report the base, Master 67.
And of course, we've got to mention our good friends. They've put a message in the chat room. That's our good friends from Plain Talking UK podcast. And as you know, just before we finish, around about 2 minutes to 8 tonight, we will do a little sneaky peek and see what those guys are actually up to, okay? So before we finish the show tonight, we'll be popping over and having a live look at the UK podcast. And I'll be popping over there as well after the show, just for a few minutes. So we'll tell you more about that, though, towards the end of the show. But good to see you guys. Hope you're having a good show tonight. I really hope that flight sim bit that you're doing tonight is after 8 o'clock, because there's a few people on here who will really enjoy that. So, especially Awash. Hey, don't you worry about that. Oh, right. Hold on. Let's just hold that just for a moment, because we have got time right now. You can see what it says. Airshow Worlds Meet the Fans. And tonight, it is the one and only Awash 2004. So, I hope this is going to actually work. We will find out. But let's see if he's out there. So then, Mr. Awash 2004, are you actually out there? Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you, Stu.
Hey, the wonders of technology are actually working. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, I tell you what, we're going to call you, stay exactly where you are, okay? And I'll get you to talk to everybody in about 1 minute from now. But what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you all about the man himself while we look at some of these great photographs. So let's hit that button there. So what does it say? He says, hey Stu, I've been flying the flight sim since the very early days of Windows 95. I started off on flight sim 2000 and then moved right the way through, you know, things like 2004, FS9, FSX, and now he's got this really cool flight sim 2020. You know, that new Microsoft one? He says, I've invested a ton of money in all the flight sims, and he's just recently, as I say, purchased this premium deluxe edition of Flight Sim 2020, and it was around about £120, he says. But hey, if you enjoy it, you know, absolutely, it's money well spent. Hey, this little bit, let's call him through right now. So, hey, is this little bit through the Mac loop there? Awash, is this through the Mac loop?
I think it is, but I am not sure.
It certainly
I
looks...
had trouble trying to find the mic loop.
Don't worry, the RAF sometimes have problems. Especially with the Typhoons. We've not seen them much recently.
but that aircraft right there is one of my favorites.
Yeah, well, tell us about that aircraft then, just before we go to your little feature that we're going to put on any second. So what aircraft was that we were just actually looking at?
This is the extra 330 LT.
Yep. Can you tell us something about the actual manoeuvres you're doing in this? So you're doing your routine on here, aren't you? This is on his YouTube channel. So let me hand the mic over to you. Tell everybody about what you're doing right now.
Okay. Right now, you're going to see I'm getting ready for the 2020 IAC contest season.
So which airport?
So you start with a wing wag.
Yep.
Right now, I'm doing a loop, which was not too good. Now I just did a botched half Cuban. This is my home airport, Calhoun, Georgia, Kilo Charlie Zulu Lima. That one was better. Now I'm doing a 4-point roll, hesitation roll. Now you're going to see me do a roll and turn, the hardest maneuver that I've ever done in real or flight sim.
Wow. That is really something,
now you're going to see me do a hammerhead. One, two, 4. That was a 4-point. That was good. Okay, now I'm getting my bearings. Now I did a loop. Good. Now the hammerhead. This airplane does okay hammerheads. I still got actually this is a spin. Now this spin is a 1.5 turn spin, which is the only spinning maneuver in the sequence.
Wow. That's absolutely fantastic. There you go. I'm going to have to hold that one there because we are really, as you know, it's a 60-minute show, so we get really short of time.
Right,
Right. Greg, coming up after this show over on the, I don't know if you ever visited these guys, but it's called the Plain Talking UK Podcast, and they're actually doing a feature on there It should be after 8 o'clock, so they're doing a feature all about flight sims and what have you, so might be worth checking out a little bit later. But very quickly, this is this young man's YouTube channel, so you can certainly go over here, subscribe to him, and he's building it up slowly with a few videos and a few other bits and bobs. So that's what it's been all about tonight. Our very good friend, Greg. Greg, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. From what part of the USA are you from? Tell everybody. You're from?
I'm from Calhoun, Georgia, which is halfway between Atlanta and Chattanooga.
Well, that's fantastic. Do you know what? I've absolutely loved having you on today, and I certainly hope as if all the guys in the chat room have enjoyed it as well. And so thank you very much there, Greg.
I will
AKA Awash 2004. And keep supporting Airshow World. It's wonderful to have you out there. All right? We'll see you next time. So, thank you very much. So, there you go. That was Awash. Right. You can see what we have. There we go. I've turned that down, so hope I'm not echoing for anybody. Okay, we're going to get back to business right now. And you can probably see what the feature is. It's Mildenhall Airshow. But we've just got one aircraft for you, and what an aircraft it is too. So quite simply, that's what Meet the Fans is all about. So if you'd like to take part, you know what to do, but I will give you the email address before the end of the show to get in touch with my good self. And you too could be on Meet the Fans. And you never know, we could always do a link up. We'll show you a YouTube channel, and we could also get you live on the air as well. Well, I think for anybody that's done the flight sims and what have you before, I'm sure they'll appreciate just what fantastic flying Awash was actually doing. I wouldn't be able to do that. So very, very well done, and thank you for showing us. Phoebe, the cats are all good. They're fast asleep. That's what they're doing. There we go. What does that say? So, hey, we're going to feature more from Mildenhall and what have you, but that was the F8 way back when. So, we've got the next feature coming up for you in just a second. So, without further ado, let's see what we're going to move to. Right, it should be... Aha, yes, it's preview time. And that's what we've got coming up for you right now. What aircraft is this?
The left-hand end, flight range, chasing an SE-5A. Red Baron, Baron von Richthofen. Incidentally, the current Baron von Richthofen is the ambassador to Britain. So that's a nice irony. Anyway, the original, the Red Baron, Youngster Father 1.
I love the head-on shot of that aircraft. Of course, it's the F-111. Now, what this is all about, it's the quick preview to let you know what's coming up over the next few days and next week, okay? So today's Friday, I think it is. The next scheduled show is going to be on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock, when we're going to do the DVD feature.
Whereas the
So you can see what DVDs we've got. But then on Tuesday afternoon, this is what we'll be doing. This is the little tiny preview for you, okay? And it is Lakenheath. And it's the Lakenheath Airshow back in 1992, okay? And I promise you, it's something you do not want to miss. As you can see, it's very, very old footage, but the aircraft that they had for this air show, you'll see in it. Ooh.
And a carrier bag, £2. Go on. Yeah.
Do you recognise that voice? You'll hit.
£2. Roll up. 3 magazines every time you buy one.
Well, that sounds like the famous John Nichol, and there he is.
We'll buy another one.
The man himself. Oh, Phoebe, what did you like? Goodness gracious. Thank you very much for all the very kind donations, you know. Phoebe. We're certainly getting there. Thank you very, very much, Phoebe. Superstar. Super fan of Airshow World. Let's have a quick sneak peek of some of the flying that you'll be seeing on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, it's not just the fast jets, classic fast jets as well. F-111, goodness gracious, but also you're going to see some classic old aircraft as well. Lots of Warbirds. And of course, you saw what we just saw then. The wonderful sight of those F-111s. I mean, hey, that's enough to stir the passion to be there. Tuesday, okay? That's going to be from 1 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. That's UK time, okay? Right. Hey, listen, I can't believe it. Where is the time gone? It's going by so quickly. Now, we've got one last feature to come up for you, okay? But before we actually go over to that, we'll give our friends, as we normally do at this time, a good mention over at Plain Talking UK. So don't you dare go yet, though, okay? But coming up, I finish at 8 o'clock and bang on 8 o'clock as well, so these guys can continue their show. But what have we got to say? Well, this is Plain Talking UK podcast. They were in the chat room just a little bit earlier. So please, why not pop over and say hi to these guys? Let's have a quick listen.
It's not uncommon to use bottled water as ballast because, of course, you can then take it off and reuse it. You can argue about the merits of having lots of water.
So what they do, it's quite simply called Plain Talking UK podcast. And they talk about all things to do with aircraft and what have you. They're a great bunch of guys. certainly worth supporting. They always give our good selves a mention over here at Airshow World. So after the bear has left the chair, please pop over and join the guys, and it'll be much appreciated. If you do go over, make sure you mention the bear, okay? Say, hey, I've just popped over from Stu's Airshow World, and all of that good stuff, okay? Right. A very quick look at one other feature, okay? So we're going to tease you a little bit. We shall be doing this in full another day.
48 Delta, hold short of 05 flash, contact tower 118.630, goodbye.
So I shall just let this play just in the background while we have one last look at the chat room and say, guys, what can I say? It's been an amazing week this week. I think, did we start Sunday? We went Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday without a gap. It's been incredible. And we've done some quite long shows, but the Bear's going to have a bit of a break, so we won't be on tomorrow. We might be on Sunday. We'll just see how it goes, okay? But the next scheduled show is going to be, we told you all about it earlier, is going to be on Monday at 1 o'clock. The DVD show. Don't forget, if you want a DVD, get in touch with my good self. Email coming up in 30 seconds. So, all you got to do, if you're interested in DVDs that we've featured, and you can find them all, first page of Airshow World, okay, on the YouTube. You'll see there's a playlist, and it's called DVDs. What I do, I show you, you can see what it's like before you even decide to buy one. But of course, they haven't got the chatter from me. So that's a bonus. It's worth buying them. But every tiny bit of profit made from that all goes into Airshow World to hopefully get a better computer, because this is Steam driven, I'm telling you. So, quick mention for folks in the chat room. So we've got Photo for You, thank you very much. Pat Murphy, Jazzy John, as always, thank you for joining us. GB Model Zone, Julie, thank you very much to Julie. And talking of Julie, don't forget that brilliant Facebook group that those guys have created, which is called the Airshow World fan page, okay? Certainly check that out. If you pop over there, we'll let you straight in. Phoebe Stern, thank you very much for the donation. Mark Webber Webster, thank you to you as well. Barry West, thank you for your donations. DJ Wilf, thanks for joining us. Pat Murphy, Mid-Atlantic, everybody else awash. Special thanks to you for taking part in Meet the Fans. Hey, gang, it's bang on 8 o'clock. I'm going to say thank you very, very much. Pop over right now. See our good friends on Plane Talk in UK. I'll catch you in the chat room on there just for a short while, just to say hi. Morris Moon, thank you very much. We'll try to get Morris on next week. Jimbo James, thank you for your help tonight and earlier in the week. We'll catch you all, okay? Thank you. That's all from the Bear for this week. We'll see you Monday afternoon at 1. You have a great weekend. Bye now.